All right, so today is January 14th.
14th?
Wow. 2025. And I believe last time I saw you, it was the first day of the year, huh? I think it was January 1st when I came to see you. So last time, we talked about your growing up in Illinois.
Mm-hmm,
and we went up through graduating high school.
Right. Mm-hmm. Then after I got out of high school, not too long after, I'm not sure. Well, 1948, I joined the Marines.
Wow.
In Illinois there. And they bused me to South Carolina, the Paris Island, South Carolina.
Paris Island, South Carolina.
And that's where the boot camp was at.
Do you remember enlistment day?
Remember what?
Do you remember the day you enlisted? Like what it was like? Not the date.
I think it was probably around the 16th of September.
Wow.
No. Yeah, around the 16th of September.
And what made you want to go to the Marines?
I don't know, Nelson. When my brother was in, he was in the Marines, my oldest brother. I guess that's the service I just picked. I think I would have liked it.
Right.
I heard that they were rough, especially the boot camp was rough.
I bet.
Yeah, at that time, the drill instructors could call you about any name they wanted to call you.
Yep.
And get away with it. Nowadays, well, after I graduated, a couple years, I guess, there was this swamp area, and just one guy in our platoon would goof up or something. Well, everybody got it straightened out. It wasn't that one guy, everybody.
And what was it?
Yeah, they marched us out in that swamp.
Oh.
At nighttime, too. It makes no difference.
Wow.
And they can't do that now. After I graduated, one guy drowned or something. I forget what happened to him. So there's a lot they can't do now. They used to call your names, all kinds of names they could think of.
Yeah.
But it was rough. Let's put it that way. Really.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. Going through there, marching. The other thing, you had to march. If you goofed up, you had to get out of bed and walk and march. I'm trying to think of something else. Oh, we had the big suitcases with lockers on the floor. They had to pick those up, left shoulder and right shoulder.
Wow.
And that's all. It was all your clothes in them.
Oh.
And they used to have inspection about every morning of your bunk. Make sure it's made right. And they made you open up that locker, make sure everything's neat.
Right.
And in order. Then they march you out to breakfast. And then from that, they marched out on the parade field and marched out there. And then I remember they gave you some shots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of those city boys, they just couldn't take some of them. They just fainted down they went.
Yep.
But the one thing being on the farm and everything didn't bother me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
My uncle talked about that in World War II in his memoir. I was reading again his stories of being in the Navy, and he said that on enlistment day that there was all these men lined up, and he said when they got to the part of the immunization, he said they were lined up in lines, you know, and it was like a cattle. You just move them through. And he said, he goes, and at the front of each line there was this pile of money, and it was the doctors who were betting on who was going to pass out next.
oh, is that right?
So all the doctors are putting money on. Yeah, I take the guy, the fourth one in. He's a goner, and they were taking bets on it. I'm going. I think it's a little different today.
Yeah, they had, I think, a couple twins from, I believe it was from Boston area. When you had to get down and shoot the not the hand grenades, but the rifles, and especially the one that really kicked, and lay down, kneel and shoot. They made them stand up. Well, once it went off, it knocked them clear back, knocked them down.
Oh man.
So, like I said, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that they just can't do anymore.
Right. Yeah.
But
how long was boot camp? Was it 6 weeks or longer than that?
from September to December, end of December.
Wow.
And then,
By the time you were done, did it feel like you could do this all day, or like did it become easier?
yeah, I was ready after being there a while. I was ready. It didn't bother me any. We had to pull mess duty going in there. Mess duties when you eat.
Yeah.
And guard duty, everything you had to do then, you do then, rather than now. Then they don't do that.
Yeah.
You got civilians do all that.
Okay.
But everything we did ourselves.
Did you have an instructor that you wished would fall off a cliff?
Yeah. I had I believe it was just a corporal, drill instructor,
Yeah.
DI. And our main one was a master sergeant,
Oh.
and he was good. He was strict, but he was a corporal. He pulled everything he could on you. I know when I was one time I was in our tent and had the rifle tore apart
Okay.
and make sure everything's clean. And he walked in with his civilian friend, as it was. And there, of course, anybody come in, you jumped up and you saluted them. So when I jumped up, the bucket was between my legs.
And what was between your legs?
Yeah, I didn't get them when I jumped up like that.
Oh,
down on the floor. And
you said, was it the rifle that was between your legs?
no, the rifle was on the bed.
Oh, okay.
I'm sitting back there
Okay.
cleaning the rifle and everything. I'm sitting on that bucket.
Bucket. There you go. That's what I
Yeah.
missed.
And I jumped up and he reached over and grabbed me by the collar here and pulled me in. I forget all the names he called. And of course, you just say, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Well, the main drill instructor, I guess he found out about it or something. He told his corporal, you don't bring anybody in this barracks. You keep them out and you stay out of these guys' roads when they're working like that. But, yeah, we used to have to tear that rifle apart. You could put it back together blindfolded.
Really?
Yeah, it was. You really had to keep it clean.
Yeah, there's not much you can do with a dirty rifle.
You know, and they make you, if you happen to drop it on the deck or something, then they make you sleep with that during the night.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think anyone else did.
Did you have a friend that you made during this time that you stuck close to, or anybody that you kept in touch with from this time?
I had a friend that, remember in high school, he was over in Missouri,
Oh,
not too far from where I was raised.
yeah.
He was in there. And then, of course, when I went over to Korea, then I picked up another friend over there that we went to R&R together, and it flew us to Japan
Wow.
and spent, I don't know how many days, probably maybe a week there.
Okay.
Rest. And so every time, I think I went over there about 3 times. How we picked this place in Japan, I think the name of it. It was really a nice, pretty city, a lot of statues and stuff.
Wow, really? Okay.
Yeah. That was one of the islands they picked to drop the atomic bomb, but the Americans, we decided not to.
Oh, really?
On
Okay.
account of all the stuff they had there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
should remember that name. I was there for 2 times.
It'll probably come to you as we talk about it.
Yeah.
But so one of the things I wanted to ask you was, do you get your uniform after you complete that training? Is that when you get your like dress blues and all that stuff, or does that happen when you enlist? Do you get your uniforms?
After I got after I completed the boot camp, then we got to ask and pick where we wanted to go. And I picked the aircraft there in Cherry Point, North Carolina. I picked that one, and luckily I got it.
Wow.
A lot of guys, they had to go to the boot or the Camp Lejeune. They had to go there, and that's a place they train you to fight more. And that was rough too, I guess. That was.
Yeah.
They're the ones that get up in front and fight also. And of course, I went to Cherry Point, went to school there for communication. Everything to do with communication we had. Learned how to climb telephone poles, when to run the telephone lines, climb up there and you splice them together up on top of the telephone pole. So you may be up there 3 hours or so on the pole up there working away.
But that's huge because as soon as you get into a new territory, you have to set up communications, right?
Right.
So you guys are instrumental for us to be able to do anything, anywhere.
Right.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah. And it was just like a work day, really, after you got out of boot camp. You get up and go to work in your school there, or you was working what the school taught you.
Right.
And I was on the teletype, and the machine were switchboard, and just like you might have seen on some westerns and everything. You sit there and somebody calls and that thing drops down and you pick it up and stick it in there and
Okay.
see who they want to talk to. It was on that.
Is a teletype, so was that so that was again connecting communications, see who they wanted to talk to? What does that look like? Is it like a switchboard that you sit at?
No, it was just a regular telephone
Oh,
television board about yay big.
okay.
And if somebody want to talk to another person, you're sitting there and the little deals drop down where you pick up the cable,
Okay.
stick it in there,
Okay.
and ring it for whoever they want to talk to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was your specialty communications, or what was your occupation title?
No, it wasn't special, it was just regular, my regular duties and stuff.
Oh, okay. Sometimes you'll see occupation like on the DD-214s, but it lists your specialty, the job that you had within the Marine Corps. And I didn't know if it would say communications or, you know, if you had a special area of expertise that you were trained in.
No, anything to do with the communication, telephone, teleline, and climb poles, and that was all just natural.
Yeah.
You get up and work on one of those that day, maybe. You may have to get up there and string a bunch of telephone lines up a pole
Yeah.
all day long, or you may be on the teletype machine working away. Trying to think of something. That's, like I said, it's just about a job
Yeah.
that you went to every day. Just like out here, you know, you get up and you go to work and everything, you come back. So,
Well, can I ask you a question going back to your uniform? And I know that you have to have it just right, especially like your dress blues uniform, the one that's the fancy pants one. When I would love if you could put yourself in your shoes back when you first put on that uniform. And I can only imagine that stays in your memory a little bit of, you know, you put it on, straighten yourself up, and you turn and check yourself in the mirror. What do you feel when you see yourself in a Marine Corps uniform for the first time?
Guess I think I felt proud of being in the Marines, be able to go through boot camp like they put you through, and they do put you through a strict boot camp.
Yeah.
I heard it was a lot stricter in Paris Island than it was in California boot camp. I'm glad I got to go to that. That's the same boot camp my oldest brother went to in 1940.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, for 1936, 37.
Wow.
But, oh yeah, he was proud. I was still, I'd do the same thing over again. And the Marine. But, so.
Well, we'll look for some swamps out here for you to march in.
Yeah. Especially when you first got to boot camp, they shave your
Do
hair.
they?
Oh yeah. Anybody's got long hair. I just had natural hair on. And of course I did have a mustache then too. Everything goes off.
Uh-huh.
And you didn't grow anything. When I got out of boot camp in 1940, end of 48, then I started growing my mustache again.
Yeah.
But you had to naturally shave, keep clean,
Mm-hmm.
and make sure you were shaved.
Okay.
Good.
Well, and when you're done with Paris Island and you're done with boot camp, did you have more schooling after that, or you said you were able to choose where you went, but did that mean you had to take more schooling, or were you right to work?
Well, like I said a while ago, I did I did ask for communication,
Okay.
and at that time I got shift. I got shift, and some of the other ones too, naturally, to the communication in Paris Island or Camp Cherry Point.
Cherry Point.
And that's
Okay.
a Marine base, aircraft and everything. And the aircraft was the Corsair.
The Corsairs.
Yeah, they didn't have the jets at that time.
Wow.
Time I got out, we had jets in 1940.
Wow.
And in 1949, they loaded everybody, whole camp and everything, aircraft and everything, aboard USS Leyte.
Lady.
Yeah, Leyte.
Leyte.
Yeah,
Lady. Okay.
and I think that was in Frozen, Rhode Island. And we took a cruise, like a personnel cruise.
Like learning the ropes and.
Long, yeah. Long.
Okay.
And Ben, I think I was a PFC then. And like I said earlier, you pull all the duties. And so I got stuck down into the laundry area.
Oh, okay.
Doing the laundry for. In a way that was good. In a way it wasn't. But good part about it, I wish I had that book and everything. Every place that they stopped at, I got to go aboard that day with the rest of some Marines and, of course, the Navy.
Okay.
Where some Marines didn't get to go aboard, they had to, the next port, they got to go.
Okay.
Well, I got to go on every port we stopped at.
Wow.
Ben's down in the laundry area working.
Uh-huh.
We had to get out, so I did. I stopped at every port there was.
Wow. Did you go to international ports?
Now we went to the trying to think of course Italy, France, Iran, some, and trying to think some of the other ones. Anyhow. Kathy brought me.
Is that what you were looking for or not? That's on the late.
But that's the ship he just mentioned,
Yeah,
the
that's
carrier.
the late.
Yeah. It's in one of them. That's the book. And it shows in here all the places that we went to.
So this is a record of the cruise that you guys went on. There's
Yeah,
France.
that's the record of the cruise.
Wow.
It was on.
Oh, boxing on board.
Yeah, that I don't have my glasses, but that should be all.
Oh, Tripoli, Athens.
Yeah.
Cyprus.
Yeah.
Argostoli.
Malta,
Wow.
French Riviera,
Paris, Gibraltar.
Yeah.
Naples.
Wow. Oran, Italy, Sicily.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, we're Naples, Italy, Augusta, Sicily, Palermo, Sicily,
Oh yeah.
Leghorn, Italy, Messina. Wow.
Yeah, the Leghorns. That's where I spent Christmas of 1949.
Oh, really?
I had a chance to go to Paris, but I said no. You go there, you had to report in probably to who's ever in charge, and I didn't want to have to do that. I was having too much fun, and we were at Italy at that time, Leghorn, Italy. So I had a chance to go to Paris and didn't do it. I wish I had it later, but he said the guy said he went to Paris. They was there for about a week. Didn't have to report in to anybody. But
Oh.
when time came up, for them to come back, they had to be at a certain place.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all the places
Wow.
that we stopped at.
Looks like you got a picture coming out here. Oh, that's the ship, huh?
Yeah,
Wow. I'll have to keep that in there.
I think I don't have my glasses. I think that's the captain.
Yep, Captain Erdman.
Yeah,
Wow.
so that one was nothing but Corsairs on there, on that ship. Oh,
That's a front propeller plane, or is that?
Yeah,
Wow.
so I gotta go up at times and watch them come in.
Really?
That cable stretched across there, you know, and catch them. So I got to see a lot, and I
Wow.
enjoyed that. Had a lot of good Navy guys I met there.
Was it desegregated by the time you were there?
Beg pardon?
Was it desegregated on board ship, or did everybody were like black and white? Were they segregated, or did everybody?
Oh yeah, they did.
Stay on the
Everybody-
same place.
Yeah, yeah.
That must have
Yeah.
been. So did you guys not see the black sailors at all, or did they do their own thing?
The black people,
Yeah.
I think, at that time, it wasn't any. We had no black people in our group.
Oh, maybe not on that carrier.
Yeah, or even in our platoon.
Oh, really?
Back in no black. We had nobody.
Wow.
What woke me up when we was in North Carolina was seeing, I think I've mentioned that before.
Seeing the segregation down there.
Yeah. They had colored, theaters, colored this, colored restaurants. They had to sit back in a bus. And that opened my eyes,
Yeah.
Where I grew up, in Illinois, Missouri there, you didn't have that.
Yeah.
They ate at the right restaurants and with us, with the white people. And I felt sorry for the blacks
Yeah.
there. They were human beings and the way they were treated, slaves and all.
Right.
No, we didn't have any in 1948 and 49.
I've interviewed many a veteran, and some of the naval veterans that I've interviewed. I said, what's your advice for surviving with all those men on board ship for that many months? And both of them, they didn't know each other. We weren't sitting together. I talked to them on 2 separate occasions, and they both said, make sure to get the top bunk.
Oh, yeah.
That's all they said.
Right.
Would you agree?
Would
you agree?
I agree. Right. You bet. Yeah.
I guess you don't want to have the guy above you being seasick.
No, especially when they're drinking. Well, before we went aboard ship, when it was in Charleston, Rhode Island, went to the taverns and stuff there, and I was too young, so I went with them. I had a good friend that I helped him back to the ship. I guess I had Coke or whatever, but I couldn't drink. Anyway, I helped him back, and he was drunker than a skunk.
Oh, no.
So I got him back up to where we went down to our bunks. So I just turned him loose, and he went plump, 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 all the way down the stairs.
Oh, no.
Being drunk, it didn't bother him any.
He wasn't in too much pain, I guess.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Oh, man. So after this cruise, where did you go after that? Did you stay with the same platoon, or did you go to a separate platoon after that?
No, after that we got shipped back to Paris Island. Back to Cherry Point,
Okay.
our base. And then I don't think I was there very long till I was shipped overseas to Korea.
Wow. So were you in Seoul?
Mm-hmm.
In Seoul? In the city of Seoul? Okay.
Yeah. We went to, had to go to California. That's where I caught the ship. And I had a sister, and her family lived in California right there.
Yeah.
So I stayed with them. Well, in fact, I got married in 1950 in Hannibal, Missouri. So my wife went with me, and she stayed there after I went overseas.
Okay.
But I stayed with my sister and her family,
Okay.
and she just stayed there. And she finally got a a job in the bank, so she was there all the time while I was gone. But yeah, got shipped there. I don't remember how long. It wasn't there that long. Maybe a month at the most.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got shipped out. A guy got shipped out of San Diego aboard ship and to Japan. From Japan, then took an airplane to Korea.
Okay.
South Korea. And it was just from there that this is job climbing poles, running telephone lines, hooking up telephone, cable, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
the next morning, you just go back to doing what you left off the day before.
yeah.
I think there's always enough work to do. And it wasn't, you slept in tents.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
They didn't have barracks?
yeah.
Although I guess you're always trying to advance in ground, right? So
Yeah.
you don't really have barracks that you would build. You're trying to fight back the North Koreans and get them, right? Are you constantly trying to gain ground? Is that why you're sleeping in tents, or?
No, that was just our base.
Oh, that was your base.
That
Okay.
was just a base. That's where the planes come in from fighting and get repaired up there.
Oh, okay.
And of course, like I said, my duty, and a lot of them were, planning for running the telephone lines. Had the telephone you crank like that. So yeah, it was. I had nothing to do with working on any planes or anything.
Yeah.
Just regular communication jobs.
That's so huge, though. So huge. If you didn't do your job, we couldn't have.
Yeah.
Done ours.
Oh yeah, yeah. The poor guys up in the front lines, they had it bad.
Were they also Marines, or were a lot of them Army?
No,
Or?
they was Navy, Army, who knows up there fighting.
Yeah.
They wasn't all Marines.
Can I ask you a question for whoever's listening to this 100 years from now? How would you describe the Korean War as far as what were we fighting for at that time? How would you describe that to one of your descendants who's figuring out
Well,
what you did in the war?
the Marines, or the North Korean, started it naturally. They come over and they killed, and we had men's already there.
Okay.
So a lot of Marines and Navy and Army, I guess, they really got killed.
Wow.
They run over them with tanks and everything else. The North Koreans did.
Okay.
Until we got more men in there.
Wow.
Because they kept pushing all of us down south until we got more people than we started stopping that and shoving them back up into their own country,
Right.
North Korea. And they fought that until 38th parallel line. I guess that's where they finally decided to end it right there.
Right. Were you there as the conflict was heating up, or were you there in the thick of it, or were you there when it was starting to come to an agreement of where that line would
I was
be?
there when it was trying to come to agreement to stop the war. And like I said, I got out in September of 52. And of course the war ended in 53.
Wow.
So I was there a year. And then they wouldn't, thank God they stopped it there, and this,
Yeah.
that's where they are today. And this South Koreans, North Koreans, right at the 38th parallel line, they call it.
Right. Would you also say that fighting the North Koreans, did you feel like you were fighting against the spread of communism?
Yeah, in a way, you were, yeah.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of them, probably majority of the North Koreans didn't like it. They would like to be able to come across and back and forth like North Carolina, South Carolina, or
Right.
what have you. But naturally can.
Wow.
But there had to be some rough ones there. But there's a lot of North Koreans, I think, that didn't like it, but they
And then had
done what
zero
they were
choice.
told. Yeah,
Oof. They still don't have a choice.
yeah. Still that way.
Wow.
I think I've seen the other day on the news there was one North Korean that Russia got hold of him. He's got him. I don't know if they ever turned him loose or not.
Yeah, there's been North Koreans are going in to fight on behalf of Russia in Ukraine.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're using them as personnel, which
Yeah.
is sad.
Well,
But
it was just a daily job when I was in there working.
do you have any? Oh, I'm sorry. What?
No, I enjoyed my work when I was there. I wasn't that close to the fighting line, so I didn't hear any noise. I'm not sure how close it was. Probably about 80, 90 miles or something. I don't know, further than that.
Wow.
So it's just a routine job every morning.
Wow.
Get up and do your duty.
Do you remember what it was like to get your papers of discharge? Going, I get to go home.
Yeah, that was.
Is that a party?
Yeah, got to go home. Went discharged in San Diego. Went back to Illinois for, I'm not sure just how long. Then I came back and got discharged. Got discharged in September of September 1952.
Okay.
48 to 52 it was, yeah. And from there, all civilian life.
Was that hard to adjust back to?
Yeah, not really. In a way it was, yeah. I worked in communication, so I was going to go into communication and like civilian life, But and I got to go in it for 3 years with it. But their pay wasn't that great, so I didn't.
Yeah.
take it. Yeah, it was just another life that I enjoyed. I didn't maybe enjoy the boot camp that much, but being on a farm, you do what you was told and you worked hard. It didn't bother me like some of the people who lived in the cities and everything.
You were used to working hard.
Yeah, I was used to it, so they weren't.
Early mornings, late nights.
Yeah.
Get your stuff done or else you can't work in the morning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense. So, and it sounds like you got a medal from the South Koreans recently.
Yeah, I did. I think Kathy got it over there. I probably had that about a year maybe now. That's one of them there.
Oh, sorry. Ambassador for Peace, official proclamation, the Honorable Otis L. Burge. It is a great honor and pleasure to express the everlasting gratitude of the Republic of Korea and our people for the service you and your countrymen have performed in restoring and preserving our freedom and democracy. We cherish in our hearts the memory of your boundless sacrifices in helping us reestablish our free nation. In grateful recognition for your dedicated contributions, it is our privilege to proclaim you an ambassador for peace. With every good wish of people of the Republic of Korea, let each of us reaffirm our mutual respect and friendship, that they may endure for generations to come. Minister, Patriots and Veterans Affairs, Republic of Korea.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's there.
That is really neat.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's gorgeous. What would you want your descendants, like 100 years from now, what would you want them to know about how you feel about your service? Because it means a lot to you.
About the service?
It means a lot to you. It's a source of pride.
Yeah, I'm glad I joined the Marines, and naturally I'm glad I went through that in one piece and didn't get hurt, killed, or nothing. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Like I said, it was rough.
Yeah.
You had to put up with a lot of stuff out of boot camp that they had you to do and talk to you the way they talked to you.
Yeah.
You kept your mouth shut.
Yeah. And what rank were you at when you were discharged?
What branch?
What rank?
Oh, I was staff sergeant.
Okay. And when you got your promotions to staff sergeant, was it a big ceremony or was it
No, just a regular.
There you go.
Yeah, you're a corporal. Next time you're a sergeant. And next time you're from a sergeant, you're a staff sergeant. That's 3 above, 1 below. And if I would have stayed in like they wanted me to, they would give me another stripe. It'd have been a tech sergeant. So, no.
So are you midway on the totem pole, staff sergeant, or are you pretty high, or where does that sit on the hierarchy?
How high from?
Yeah, like from private all the way up. Where
All
is
the way
staff
up.
sergeant?
All
Is
the way
it
up, yeah.
is it in the middle or is it towards the top? Staff sergeant.
Oh, you're more or less towards the top, more or less.
Nice.
You only had one more stripe. That'd have been master sergeant. Then from there you'd go to second lieutenant.
Did you at least get better food as a staff
No,
sergeant?
no.
No.
No, it's all the same.
Yeah.
Everybody was treated about the same as far as rank and all that, except when you was in boot camp, you wasn't treated that good.
Yeah.
But,
Now, I know that, as you've said, it's much different today than it was back then when you went through boot camp, but being a Marine, there's still Semper Fidelis. I mean, there's still the heartbeat that beats throughout every Marine of brotherhood and faithfulness. And what piece of advice would you give to a young man or woman who's wanting to go into the Marines? Is there a piece of advice that you'd give to them before they signed their papers or went to boot camp? Of how, like, advice on how to survive?
no, there was when you went to boot camp.
Uh-huh.
How to survive, yes.
Any advice on that?
Not really, it's just that you pay attention to what the drill instructor wants you to do, and when you go to the rifle range, do the best you can, and hand grenades, you threw them, in boot camp, all the guns and everything, you did everything to survive and help your platoons and help the rest of to survive in there.
Yeah.
So you didn't. One thing about boot camp, you didn't goof off. You pay attention. You did what they wanted you to do,
Yeah.
and that paid off at the at the end and everything. So it was rough in the boot camp, but
Yeah.
I'm glad I went to Paris Island. That's
You really proved yourself.
yes.
I had there was another veteran that I had interviewed, and I asked him that same question about advice. And he was saying, like, similar to what you said, keep your ears open and your mouth shut,
Yeah.
because no one cares what you have to say.
Right. That's right. You
So pretty much what you said.
keep your mouth shut and do what they told you. No. As long as you did what they told you in boot camp, and like I said, it was rough. If one guy goofed off, then everybody got punished.
Yeah.
They'd take you out for a march. Like I said before, they march in that swamp. They march you on the ground. You got maybe one so far on the march. But to me, it was just another day job. I didn't really was happy about boot camp being in there. I wanted to be outside again, but
I don't think anybody thinks of it as a vacation.
yeah. But you look back at it now. I'm glad I went. I'm glad I got to go to Paris Island for my training.
and travel the world.
Yeah. And
That's pretty cool.
then go aboard the aircraft carrier. Got a lot of foreign country. See how they lived.
For a guy who was born on your birth certificate where there isn't even like a city, it just says rural
Yeah.
Illinois, to then travel the world. I mean, the opportunities are pretty incredible in the military. So, yeah, and we appreciate everything that you did.
I enjoyed the USS Lady, the aircraft carrier. I enjoyed that. I'd go up there. I went up there one night at 12 o'clock and saw a rainbow at nighttime, 12 o'clock. Never forget that.
Wow.
And lucky if all the ships I was on, I didn't get seasick or nothing.
Hopefully the carrier wouldn't slosh around too much.
No, but it did a pretty good job at times.
Yeah.
They had the other ships with us, and there was time that you went down in one of the waves, like, and up. When they went down, you didn't see anything but water.
Whoa.
The other ships you couldn't see nothing.
Wow.
So we were in pretty rough water at times.
Yeah. Had you ever seen the ocean before you went on the carrier?
No.
I was just thinking about that. You
No.
probably wouldn't have gone on a little day trip to the ocean.
Yeah.
That's not possible in Illinois.
No, you don't.
Wow.
Don't see anything in Illinois. No ocean.
That must have been a really awe-inspiring moment to see nothing on the horizon.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was. Well, you remember that name of that ship your dad or your grandpa was on?
LST 1000.
LST, yeah.
That
Oh,
was
the-
a troop carrier ship.
I was aboard one of those, and man,
Really?
rough. Talking
That was
about rough.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everybody, it seemed like a lot of Navy guys, and everybody was practically sick.
Get that top bunk.
Thank God I didn't get sick.
Yeah.
Gee, that was that ship. Talking about you had to get your food up a deck and try to get back down to where you ate at.
Yeah.
Well, that ship where it was, that wasn't a ship I liked.
Right? Yeah.
I didn't get sick. Man, many Navy guys got sick. Marines got sick. Whoever's aboard that thing, a lot of them got sick.
Yeah. Now, have you ever had a situation when you're just walking around and you hear a Corsair engine? Like at any time after your time in the Marines, can you pick out the sound of that engine? If you're standing here and you hear an engine, do you look up thinking, oh, there's a Corsair up there?
Yeah.
Can you make out the difference in the sound of the engine?
Well, naturally, the Corsairs is a lot different than the jets. You can make that out, yes.
Yeah.
We did get jets later on, but I think we had one. Well, we may have had more than that. I remember one. Took a picture of. The guy took me a picture of when I was standing there by it.
Wow.
Jet. But the Corsairs, you can tell a lot of difference.
Really? That's cool. I bet it would just take you right back to being on the deck of that ship. Do you ever have those memories and it just takes you right back to being on the ship?
Oh yeah, I have a lot of memories aboard that ship, and some aboard the ship that went over in Korea from California to Japan.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the ship, but I know when my good buddy and we're going to take a cruise to like this civilian life to Japan, or not Japan, but Alaska. I said, well, heck, I've been aboard ship before. I don't need that. But aboard ship, you didn't have what the regular ships we got naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed those cruises.
Yeah. Wait, you didn't have a magician on the USS Lady or nighttime entertainment?
No, I think we had the movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they would show a movie once in a while. I don't remember the name of the movie.
You got to find a way to pass time so these boys aren't. You don't have a bunch of testosterone waiting to fight each other all the time.
No. Trying to remember the movie that I think some of the guys, not anything to do with Korea or nothing, just a regular movie. James Cagney was the captain of the movie.
Okay.
I'm thinking maybe the guy was there and he got shipped. He'd been trying to get off that ship and see some fighting in that movie.
Oh, okay. Did you ever have any bombshell lead actresses like Rita Hayworth or something in the movies that all the guys were hooting and hollering about?
Oh yeah. Some of the movies had some of those girls like that, and they were whistling and hollering. Yeah, in the movies.
One of the guys I interviewed was a retired colonel in the Air Force, and he said that when he was an instructor, when he was an officer instructor, that he used to have to do slides, and the boys they kept falling asleep. So every 10th slide, he'd put in a pinup girl.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, that's how I keep all the students awake, because every 10th slide they're woo. I went, that's smart.
Yeah. We had, before I joined the Marines, also, I worked at Rockford, Illinois, on like the door frames on the garage, with frames on both sides.
Oh, okay.
I welded them.
Oh.
And I had two good guys. Not sure what their duties were. I guess checking out the machines. I was a spot welder.
Oh.
And these guys was inspecting or something, I guess. One of them, it was 220 volts. He got onto that, and I remember that it killed him.
No.
They worked on him for a good hour, I think, trying to. But the other one, when I was in boot camp, I heard his voice. He was a Marine at one time, I guess, and so he joined up again, and he was a drill instructor.
Really?
And I was out there and I heard his voice, so I got permission to talk to him that night.
Wow.
And that was good here.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, it was.